Hello everyone, Violet here, and today we're going to be talking about Lammas or Lughnasadh, which is a holiday in the pagan Wheel of the Year. And in the Northern Hemisphere, this occurs on August 1st or 2nd, and in the Southern Hemisphere, it's February 1st or 2nd. So it's actually across the wheel from Imbolc. And if you remember, Imbolc is all about hoping and dreaming for the future and imagining. And Lammas has some of those same sort of qualities, but it's like on the opposite side of the year. It's about planning and preparation. This is the point of the year where you might notice that the days are beginning to get shorter, even though it's still summer, it's still very warm, the sun is very prevalent. The days are beginning to get shorter, and you can notice this happening, so you know that winter is on its way. And so it's time to start preparing and planning ahead. Personally, I think it makes sense how it kind of falls on an academic calendar as well. You could think of this as preparing for an academic year if you are someone who is working within that schedule at the moment. But in its more ancient history, this holiday is really centered around the grain harvest. It's actually the first of two harvest festivals. This one is for grain, and the next one is Mabon, which kind of reminds me of Thanksgiving. So that'll be the next Sabbath in the Wheel of the Year. But this one being focused on grain, you can imagine kind of stocking up your stores and preparing by making bread and kind of gathering up your resources that is very abundant at the moment in preparation for winter. So in the story of the Lord and Lady, which is the pagan mythology that surrounds a lot of these festivals, kind of the through line story that goes around and around the wheel in the year, the young Lord and Maiden, who are now becoming the mother and father aspects of their characters, have just discovered that they're pregnant. They're coming up with their plans for what they need to do, how they need to prepare at this time. And later on in the story, the God aspect actually gives of himself, kind of sacrifices himself for the safety and well-being of his family. And you can see this metaphorically with the sun, kind of representing that God aspect, the sun giving itself, infusing itself into the grain, into the corn, the wheat, the oats that grow. And then when this crop is cut, sort of like this sacrifice of self to give back to the community, give back to that family. But what's special here is that the seeds from that grain that's cut will in the spring be coming up as new plants. So there's the cycle of death and rebirth that happens. And I also like to look to nature in the Sabbaths and think about what nature can show me, especially with each element metaphorically to go along with the Sabbath. And with the element of air, I really think about wind rolling down the plains of a wheat field, for example. This is something I saw a lot in Oklahoma as I grew up. It almost looks like waves of the ocean. And I think about the air kind of rolling through and seeing all of those ripples and seeing those waves. And I think about how all of those stalks are being pushed by the same influences, the same energy, and how we, ebb and flow as community all together. We have this sort of like unified energy that moves through all of us at certain times, and there's something kind of unifying about that. We're all in this together, which is important to know if you're thinking about protection and preparation, is that it's something you can do with people, with connection, and you're probably going to be better protected and better prepared as part of a group. So thinking about those connections, thinking about helping others and being generous, giving of yourself, that's sort of some of the themes of Lammas. And with the other elements, I kind of think of them in this sort of like metaphor together, that the earth, the water, and the fire, which is the warmth from the sun, kind of all come together to create this plant, this crop that then is nourishing and life-giving. Sort of like the balance of all of the elements, including air, is important for the growth of this crop, and how really this incredible alchemical miracle is made up of these elements, but then is so much more than that too. So I think about how the earth and the energies of the earth are always giving to us, and it's like we can decide how we appreciate that, how we take it or don't take it, how we might accept the health and help that's there prevalent within Mother Nature, or how we can deny it and push it away. And in doing so, we kind of, we lose our connection and we lose our ability to remain safe and protected with how we're kind of meant to live in harmony and balance. And all of these elements give themselves to us as food, as medicine, herbal medicine. So some things you can do to celebrate Lammas would be baking bread, making jam, creating a corn doll, drying herbs, and if you're like me and you're obsessed with planners, perhaps planning ahead in your planner. I actually used to, even though I wasn't on an academic year, keep an academic year planner so that I could do a lot of my New Year planning around Lammas. I've now switched to the calendar year, but it was a nice part of my practice at that time. And for every Sabbath, I like to spend time outside, really immerse myself in nature at that moment, experience it, feel a part of it. I like to correspond my daily practices with the themes of Lammas or whatever holiday it is. And I also like to do some sort of personal ritual to celebrate. And with Lammas, it's definitely a focus on kitchen magic. As with the next Harvest Festival, Navin is also that way. I like to make some loaf of bread, and I actually have a wonderful recipe for you, so keep an eye out for that. I'll have a Lammas loaf recipe for you to check out. So if you are creating a ritual for yourself for Lammas, or if you're aligning your daily practices like I do with the energy of the Sabbath, some correspondences you could keep in mind are colors: brown, sage green, golden yellow, amber, crystals, Botswana agate, bumblebee jasper, smoky quartz, and some herbs and plants: sage, oat, rye, wheat. So do let me know in the comments below how you like to celebrate the Sabbath, if you're celebrating it for the first time this year, or if you're watching these videos to get an idea of the entire Wheel of the Year. I am making a playlist with a video for every single Wheel of the Year, and for each holiday I'm also presenting in separate playlists at least a recipe, a guided meditation, a tarot spread, as well as information about the Sabbath itself. So do check that out, and do let me know what you think in the comments below. If you're watching this around Lammas, have a blessed Lammas, a blessed Lughnasadh, and I will see you soon. Thank you all for watching. Please like and subscribe, and all my love your way. Thank you so much. See you next time. This video is sponsored by Sabbath, a Witch's card game, which is the card game that I myself invented and designed. And this is perfect for any witchy person in your life as a gift or for yourself. You choose your witch's path. This is your identity throughout the entire time of playing, and it corresponds with one of the 5 elements. And throughout the game, you are earning tools, you're developing practices, and you can use those to cast spells. And you also have occurrence cards that happen every now and again, creating your initiation ritual. You set your altar, you build your book of shadows. You can celebrate the Wheel of the Year all year long with this really fun witchy card game. I would love to invite you to enter the Enchanted Forest and become a member of my Twitch community, where we do morning mindfulness practices such as meditation, stretching and yoga, breathing every morning Monday through Saturday, as well as Sunday arts and craft streams, and free tarot on full moons, new moons, equinoxes, solstices, special occasions. I so can't wait for you to be here and to get to know you.